Welcome, 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 guys. It is the real YANA, and I'm so happy to have you guys back watching my show again tonight. I have a great and a wonderful, amazing, you know my word is amazing and delicious if something is good, and I have an amazing guest tonight. This woman here, guys, she is full of surprises, full of greatness, full of joy, and full of energy for helping her community. Yes, she is part of the government seal, baby. She is a city councilwoman of Jonesboro, and we are here to give her more attention to vote her into that mayor seat. Get out and vote, get out and vote, get out and vote. All right? I want you to meet her when we come back. It's a lot of things about this woman that I want to crack the shell, ask her a couple of questions, get you to know this woman that we're going to vote for because we are going to vote her in that mayor seat. She's lived in Jonesboro for 15 years, so she's familiar with the neighborhood. She's not someone that just come inside the neighborhood and decide, I want to be this. No, she's part of that neighborhood. So guys, when we come back to the Real Young Lou Show, we're going to see Dr. Donya Sator. We'll be back live 5 with Yana Lou in a minute. Peace. Hey guys, what's up? What is good? I told you coming back with me, and I have a wonderful guest. I don't want to delay it anymore because she is an amazing person with a plethora of information that I think we need so we can get her into that mayor seat. So without further ado, Dr. Donya Sator. How are you?
Hi
beautiful?
there. Thank you
Oh my
for
God.
having me.
I'm honored.
No,
You know, I'm so honored to have you here. You're such a beautiful being. I
Thank
read up
you.
about you and the things that I've heard that you've done, Donya. It goes without saying. You're just an honor. You're
Oh, thank
somebody
you.
to put up on the top pedestal. Okay,
Wow,
I love it.
I'm really feeling the energy, so thank you.
Hey, I can't say enough. Listen, I want to dive right on into some of these great things. I know we're on a time schedule, but since we're on a time schedule, let's go dive into you. What you're doing out here in the city of Jonesboro is amazing. We've been hearing a lot of tweet, and that's why we wanted to bring you in because your name have been ringing bells, guys. And one of the things that I love that you embarked upon was the adopt an elderly person. Tell me a little bit about that.
So seniors, kind of like we were talking about this before, that we have this love for seniors and for children. There's so much honor and esteem for seniors. And what I found that, before my mother passed, she was loved by all of us. She got all the attention in the world, in the world. But I found like when I was campaigning the first time and I would go to some of the nursing homes and just knock on some of the doors, like they would be so happy to have guests or company. That everyone isn't as fortunate as my mother or the elderly people in our family because we love on them all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw that was a real need. We talk about housing for seniors, activities for seniors, but something as simple as just companionship is something that seniors need. So what we came up with one Christmas was adopt a senior. And so it was kind of twofold. I always have people, friends and family, they're always like, well, I want to do something, I want to give. Like more so than not, people have this innate tendency to want to give and help, but may not always know how to do it. Doesn't mean they may thinking you have to like donate money or go through this formal process of giving up your time and your gifts. So I created this way so that people could have an outlet to give.
Wow.
And then someone could receive. More importantly, I feel like it's important that we teach our children giving. I'm a firm believer that Muhammad Ali said it best, that giving is the price we pay for rent to stay here on earth. So I feel like we have to begin to teach our children. So many of our children are entitled, they're giving things, and especially with this Instagram, Facebook, and everything, that we really have to be intentional about teaching them how to give. So this was the opportunity for parents to teach their children sacrifice.
Yes.
To come take some things off of their Christmas list and give to others. And so families would adopt a particular senior. Seniors would fill out a survey that said, I like this, I like that. And they were very modest. One of them said he wanted boiled peanuts, or Miss Willis said she loved pecan swirls. So they were very sweet, very small. Probably no list probably cost, if you got everything on the list, maybe $30 or $40. But what I heard was families saying that my child enjoyed shopping from this list. and they forgot about the fact that they actually sacrificed or gave up something for themselves to give to others. And then I had the police department deliver them to the elderly. And again, it touched the lives of those police officers as well. Police officers get such a bad rap in the news. So this was an opportunity for them to give to our elderly population, and they were so appreciative. I had the pictures of them smiling and just so excited. One, that they had company, and two, that they had gifts, and that someone thought of them. So
I love it.
and it was really simple. Like I said, it didn't require a lot. Just a matter of me going on Facebook saying, hey, who wants to adopt a senior? And I actually had more people wanting to adopt than I had seniors.
Wow.
So when we come to do it this Christmas, I got to find some more seniors because so many people are willing to give. And so we paired up and made sure that every senior had something.
Well, we'll help you get some seniors. There's some seniors all over the place. I love it. And then I looked at how you've been in this community for 15 years and how you began to want to start changing things in the city. What prompted you to want to come from councilwoman to mayor?
So let's go back. And what prompted me to become councilwoman?
That part.
Yeah, there you go.
That part.
And so people always
we gotta have this girl down here with me permanently.
There you go. So people always ask, like, what made you want to get into politics, or what made you want to run for office?
Exactly.
And and you always, I think maybe as a woman, you always try to figure out the right answer. And so for years I struggled, like, well, because I wanted to make a difference in my community, I wanted to do this. But one day, the realization of why I really ran became so prominent that I had to just put it in the atmosphere. The real reason I ran is that I went to my first council meeting and I saw no one that looked like me. I didn't see a female and I didn't see anyone of color. And I am just a big proponent that representation matters. And sometimes you are that representation that needs to be there. And I thank God that I wasn't afraid. And so I ran in 2007 and I lost by 48 votes.
Okay.
And it took some time for me to decide that I wanted to run again. And then I ran in 2019 and I won. Why do I want to become mayor? Because I feel like little girls or boys, and I don't care what color they are,
That's right.
our older seniors, they deserve to see someone that they can connect with, whether it's gender, socioeconomic status, whether it's race, whether it's religion, but they deserve to see someone that they connect with them at the higher level. I debated running, but when I didn't have enough faith in my other council people to do what's right, then it was on me to get in the position to where I can do what's right.
Wow.
And so here we are, running for mayor in a March 21st election. This would be a historic election. It'd be the first time that City of Jonesboro has elected an African-American person.
And kudos to you.
So I'm excited to be able to make history. I'm only the second African-American woman to ever serve as on the city council. 1975, Eula Pons Perry was the first person to serve as a female. So it was some big shoes to fill, but I felt like it was important. And if I didn't do it, then it was no guarantee that anyone else would do it anytime soon.
I think you were destined for this. By just your humbleness and the way your answers are coming across and how authentic they are and how they're just coming out, I think you were chosen for this.
Oh,
you were predestined for this.
I appreciate that.
I do. So what are some of the things that you look to bring to the city of Jonesboro?
Well, one of the things, when you look at a city, a municipal government, the first thing you should look at is citizen engagement. You hear all the time, like, we want our citizens engaged. Well, the first way to tell if a community is engaged is go look and see who comes to the polls.
All right now.
And we have had our voter turnout has been less than 5% of our population. So the first thing I need to do, and I've been fighting that even as a city councilwoman up until I resigned last week to qualify to run for mayor, is getting them to making voter accessibility more common. And so we've only had a low voter turnout. We've had little or no representation of people of color on council. Is because I feel like there have been obstacles in the way to prevent people from getting to the polls. And when I say prevent people from getting to the polls, I'm not talking about water holes and dogs like they did back in the 60s. I'm talking about not making us aware of the election, not educating us that we have a governing body at the municipal level. Everyone knows about county government, school board, state representatives, governor,
the regular,
all the way. They know about the regular, but there's a municipal government, and we make some really important decisions. We had ARPA funding, for example. We were able to pay utilities and home repair. So there's federal funding that trickles all the way down to the municipal level. And you better make sure you got somebody on the government that has an interest in the people. to serve them. So that's one of the things. What do I need to do so that we have a higher voter turnout? So whoever is elected, like I don't want to be elected as mayor and the local homecoming queen had more votes than I did. So I'm not proud to say that I was elected as a mayor with 180 votes. I'll take it if that gets me into the mayor's seat.
Okay.
But I want to make history by having the largest voter turnout in a municipal election for the city of Jonesboro.
And you will.
And then after we do that, then there's some other things we need to look at. I feel like we need a diversified housing portfolio. What does that mean? That we need housing for everyone. Everyone talks about affordable housing, and that is important. But then we also we want to bring in a diversified population of people. So therefore, you have to have a diversified housing population. So I want to really focus on that. I also feel like it's really important that we look at safety. We're fortunate enough that in the city of Jonesboro, our public safety department is outstanding. We haven't had any problems, but it's important that we're always able to provide the training, the necessary equipment, so they can continue to do that good job. So making sure that we have adequate funding for our police. And then lastly, I feel like it's important that we look at all of our cities are ran by charters, just a little civic organization, they're ran by charter. Well, I don't feel like our charter is the most inclusive charter. It was written years ago. So I really want to focus on making sure that there are practices in place, that we have an affirmative action program to where when it's time to get bids from large companies, that we make a concerted effort to look for small minority businesses that are certified to do the job. We don't technically have those things in place now. And in 2023, we should have it. So I just want to make sure that we have a government and a community that really values equity. And I'm not just talking about in the sense of race.
I like your view set. From the norm, I've interviewed other council mayors and things of that nature. And some of the things that I ask them, I ask you the same question, not to just be cookie cutter, but I like your answers. I like the way you come across. It's not something thought about. It's not something paused. It's not. You are straightforward about what you want to do. You know what you want to do. You know how you're going to go about it. And I think that everything that you're going to do is going to move forward.
Well, thank you.
I see that. In me, when I'm looking to vote for somebody, I'm looking for somebody that has an idea, knows where they're going and how you want to change. I didn't hear you say anything about, oh, let's bring more stores. We know this is going to happen. We know, those are the norm things. But you brought about things that really is going to hit home. You brought about development. You brought about more education. You brought about more unity within the municipal, bringing about fairness is what I'm hearing for you. So I'm wishing you the best.
Yes. Think of it in terms of like a citizen-focused campaign, a citizen-focused tenure. Like, we can focus on businesses, those are important. But if I always focus on things through the lens of those that live here, then everything else will fall in place. If I think about how would a citizens feel about restaurants that may or may not be of their taste, like that. So it's very citizen focused. Like, and I think politicians get caught up when we lose sight of who we really represent. I want businesses and I want businesses to prosper, but those businesses can't prosper at the expense of someone that lives there. So very citizen focused.
So are you making sure that it's affordable for the people that's in the area, opposed to just sticking to business?
And so there's a lot behind that, and I've learned a lot. So people, for example, someone said the other day, well, we should get something like Whole Foods or something like that. And I'm like,
Whole Foods belong in Buckhead.
I call it Whole Check.
Well,
because that's about all it takes. But so I had to explain to them, when those businesses, stores, restaurants want to come to the city, they look at their mean family income. And so when people say, well, why don't we have a Whole Food? Because Whole Food is only going to go to a certain market. And so how you bring that market up is that you balance it with affordable housing and then that diversified housing portfolio. There's a reason why I say diversified housing portfolio and not affordable. Like, I want people, we can't have a city full of affordable housing, because let me give you an example. I have a beautiful home in the heart of the city. I was intentional when I bought it. I have 2.5 acres. At some point in my life, I don't want to cut grass. I don't want to rake leaves. And there is no.
You're gonna employ somebody.
No, I want to leave. I want to get something small. I want a townhouse. You see, I want about a 2x2 piece of grass.
Well, Mayor, I'm just gonna call you who you are. You go ahead and do that.
But there is no place for me to move to if I were to leave my home. If only thing we have is affordable housing. So we have to have this diversified And then that will draw the restaurants that people ask for and the variety of restaurants. And people want different types of restaurants. They want somebody asked for like a chicken salad. They're so more of what we cater to is not necessarily what can be afforded, but do we have that variety? Like we have more and more vegan and vegetarian people, people that want healthier options, not just your regular fast food chains, pizza and burgers and stuff. So I have to listen to that because one of the things I'm really concerned about is the health of my citizens. Remember everything through the lens of my citizens.
Right. Right. I think that is beautiful. I think them choosing you, and that's why I'm hearing your name a lot in the city and all over Georgia, is because they made the right choice. We already know that you're going to be in that house, honey. Just claim it. And sometimes I tell you, sometimes you have to fail. Sometimes you have to prove yourself. It's just a test because they want to see what you would give up on if you would give up easy. So thank you for coming back running again and winning it in 2019. We don't even want to talk about the year that they didn't do it. They were just actually moving the furniture around so they can fit you in.
Yeah, and I do believe there's timing for everything. Like, I'm not sure the lessons that I know now as a person, Donya as a person, has positioned me to be a very good elected official. I'm not sure in 2017, me as a person would have been the best elected official at that time. Looking back, sometimes I even wonder, like, I can't
know the time, doesn't it?
Yes, and I do believe, things are started. And we should be happy with the starts. People always think, oh, the finished product. But, there's a verse I reference all the time that says, he will start a thing. And so I've learned to be super happy when I know that thing has started.
Amen.
Yeah. I'm going to rejoice when it's finished, Yeah. So I'm excited now that the campaign has started, that my journey toward mayor has started. I know he'll finish it. But I'm enjoying the start. I'm enjoying the journey. We don't even call it a campaign. We call it a journey. And the people that are coming along, and even like meeting you and just the opportunities that just my campaign journey is opening up for other people is really important. And so it's not just about me. I will be elected as mayor, but if along that journey, no one else was elevated in the process, then my journey was really in vain. And that's what I look back at all the people that I had one young teenage guy. He was like, "Hey, can I do a commercial with you? Like, I'm starting to do such and such." I'm like, "Yeah, please. I'm just starting to learn how to be a mayor. So yeah, you just practice, do what you need to do." And he did. He was so proud of it, and I used it on my social media, and people really liked it. So I tell people, use this as an opportunity to elevate yourself. With me. I don't want to just go alone.
Grow with you.
Grow with
guys. I love it. Dr. Donya Sator is amazing. We're going to find a little bit more about her when we come back. I'm going to dive into her behind the screen because she's totally interesting, and I love her humbleness. Very soft-spoken, but I hope you guys are getting something from this. Please go out and vote for this young lady. I mean, you can't get it any better than this when you have a private interview with somebody so intimate with you and intimate with her city that really wants the best for her city. So make sure you go out and vote. We'll be right back with more with Dr. Donya Sator in just a minute.
Thank you.
Listen. I found me out some hot potato information. This doctor is not only running for mayor, she's also part of a sorority. One of the best sororities that I love. I love to support them. I support you all, guys, but my family is full of Deltas, and Doctor is a Delta.
Yes, a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, founded in 1913, the best sorority. Like I said, much love for all the D9, all the Divine Nine. I feel like we all contribute to our communities all across the world, not just within the United States. And just the global impact that sororities and fraternities have. Sometimes we catch a lot of bad press, but I think if you really take time to look at the impact, as far as sending children to college, the things that we do in regard to world health, things like that, it's unprecedented. I do feel like, though, my sorority does an excellent job and stands out above the rest. But for me, it was the opportunity to be with like-minded women that served.
That's awesome.
And that's important, whether you're in a fraternity, sorority, it's good, to collectively serve together. You can go out and do your individual things, and that's great. I'm not discouraging that, but there's a power in numbers. And there's some things that I've wanted to do internationally that I've been able to do through my sorority. And I think that platform has been really, really helpful.
Well, I'm going to say this. When you're in college, I say it starts when you're in elementary school, middle school. They're going to go back to look at all those grades. They're going to dive into all of that because they really want to know just who you are as a person before they let you enter those doors.
Correct.
Right? And that's important. That's just like where you are now, coming from city councilwoman going into mayor. You have to be vetted.
Exactly.
You know,
trust me, either the system is going to vet you or the public will vet you.
I'd rather the system do it.
There you go.
Honey, because the public, y'all know y'all will rip us a new one. Yeah. Ow. I'm telling you. So, doctor, what are some of the things that are you going to start having? One of the people in the audience was telling you the heart, but it was the art.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the things you're going to do for the art community?
So we already have a art and entertainment overlay. So cities and municipal governments, and you'll hear me explain a lot because I feel like that's really important.
I love it.
It's almost like a impromptu civics lesson that I didn't get. So when I explain it, it's because someone didn't explain it to me. And when I learned these things, it was super beneficial. So cities they designate these certain areas and they call them overlays. Just imagine a map and you actually overlay something. So you may have a senior overlay or a recreational overlay. But Jonesboro was very intentional in our last 10-year plan that we focused on having an arts and entertainment overlay. What does that include? It's the opportunity to have venues for live music. We have 2 beautiful amphitheaters, a large one at Lee Street Park and then Broad Street. We also have Clayton Arts Gallery that's been downtown for almost 32 years.
Decades, I know.
Yeah. You'll see beautiful murals throughout the city. We've done a great job to making sure here again that we've brought in that our murals are representative of our city and of our history. So we're very intentional. Arts is very big to me. I feel like that's because, we can talk about academics, and don't get me wrong, academics is really important, but we can't downplay that people are just as intellectually talented when it comes to the arts, and we have to give them the venue, a venue for that. Just like we have basketball courts so people can play basketball, and we have football fields so people can play football and run track. So we have to. So where would the artists go to?
Yeah.
So that's really important that we have these galleries or these opportunities for those children or even adults that enjoy art, that they can have an opportunity to practice their skill like we would for athletics or something.
Right. And that's amazing. So how would someone in the arts, because I'm in the arts, right? How would someone go about getting in contact with you guys to patronize?
So that's one of the things I'm looking to develop is an arts council within the city. So that when there are artists that are in the area or they want to showcase their talent, then we have an arts collective that's governed or up under the city umbrella. Okay. And then that way, if you were to reach out to me and say, hey, I'm a performing artist or I'm a painter or I do 3-dimensional art, then I can think of ways that we can implement that and share that, not only with our citizens in the city of Jonesboro, but in the surrounding area.
Nice. So now do you guys link up with the other mayors and city councils and all come together collectively as a group? And
yeah, so there's several organizations. There's a National League of Cities, and that's for mayors and councils all over the country. Okay. Then you also have GMA, which is Georgia Municipal Association, and that's the counties and the cities. But personally, I feel like it's really important. I don't have to really reinvent the wheel stepping into this mayor's position. It's all about relationships and connections. Yeah. So whether it's through a formal organization or just seeing someone that's a mayor saying, hey, can we connect and exchange numbers and find out a little bit more about their city. One of the ways that you grow as a city is you learn from other cities that have done the things that you've done. You tweak it and you make adjustments, but you don't have to start from scratch. So there are national organizations, and there's I want to have a big push so that Jonesboro is recognized not only in our county, because we're the county seat, but there's opportunity for Jonesboro to have a level of relevance in our state, in our country, and internationally. Like I want to invite international consulates over to the city of Jonesboro, and then maybe take children or residents over there. There's a lot of exchange and knowledge that can happen so that we have a global impact. So my goal is that the city of Jonesboro will really focus on making a global impact in the next 10 years.
That is beautiful. I can see Jonesboro heading in that direction. Full head speed, led by you.
There you go.
I see it. I believe it. I know it's true. That part. Y'all know YANA Lou like to get jiggy down here at the city, guys. I'm telling you, I don't want to make it to where it's just, this and this and no. This woman is on fire. And this is what we have to pay attention to. We're also going to tap at the end of the show and going over to our next show about angry Black women and why we should embrace it. This is one of the things that I love about Dr. Donya Sator is she embraces all elements of who she is as a woman. Sometimes we go through things, doctor, and we shut it down because people make us feel like, no, you can't do that. You're Dr. Donya Sator, right?
Right.
But it's okay. Because as we were speaking, what you taught me, once we embrace that.
And it's all about being transparent and honest with yourself and being vulnerable. People say, well, I can't be vulnerable with someone. Well, chances are we really haven't been vulnerable with ourselves.
Right.
And that's step one. And so people ask me, like, if you knew something then, if you knew something now that if you knew something then that you now know. And one of those things would have been, I wish earlier in my life as a younger woman, as a younger Donya, that I was a little less fearful of those things that weren't perfect about me, and that I wasn't afraid to address them. So we can have a whole segment on mental health and things that we need to do. So 20 years ago, I wish Donya had addressed issues that I'm just now addressing. And it's okay though.
That's beautiful.
And it's okay though, but better late than never. But my wish for the younger ones is that take time.
Yeah, take time to love yourself.
Correct.
Okay. So I want to ask you to please give all the voting information that you have so that we'll know how to vote for you, how to get in contact, how to stay looking and chiming and pushing you to the top level. So y'all listen to Dr.
So the election is March 21st. Help us make history. Help City of Jonesboro elect their first woman of color. But not only just a woman of color, someone that's qualified, someone that is a part of the community, someone that's very intentional about her steps and has the heart of all people. That election is on March 21st. We'll have 3 weeks of early voting. You can go to www.votedonya.com, www.votedonya.com, and you have all the up-to-date information on where you can vote. I also would be remiss if I didn't say this. Get out to vote whenever you can. Mine is a special election on March 21st, but whenever you hear that the polls are open, get to the polls. Our ancestors fought really hard for that right. And so I'm going to vote for anything. I'm going to vote for the weather if I can. There you go. But March 21st, I need you voting for me.
I'm going to vote for
Donya Sator. There you go. The next mayor of City of Jonesboro. So thank you so much for that opportunity.
Amen. I love that. You always got to give your social media handles, honey.
So social media, follow me on Instagram. That's Vote Donya, and then you can follow me on Facebook. That's Vote Donya as well. We kept it simple, so go to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Everything is all going to be Vote Donya. I'm there. Follow me, leave me some messages, ask me some questions, hold me accountable during this process, and then when I take that seat, hold me accountable.
Yeah. And what's that you got on your sweater?
Oh, so this is my campaign badge. It just says, vote March 21st, Dr. Donya Sator, Mayor of City of Jonesboro, a voice for all.
Oh.
And I think that encompasses everything, a voice for all.
And I really know that you are that. I'm so excited. I want to be down there. I'm behind you 100%.
Oh, let me just say this. You can come out, vote Donya, sign up to volunteer. If you can't cast a vote, you can come cast 2 hours in the field with me and help get people to vote. It's a community effort.
That part.
So come out. So if you can't vote for me and you're wondering how you can help, you can always come. I'm in the field knocking on doors 5 to 6 days a week, and I would love for you to come out and join. And then my younger kids are out there. If you ever wondered about becoming a politician, if you ever thought about it, come on to the campaign trail. We can learn a lot together.
I love it, Donya. It has been such a joy to have you.
Thank you.
Such a beautiful joy. I look forward to seeing you again, coming on down here working with us. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all see that? That's a sister. You know, sis. Yes, we're going to mosey on over to our other show and, chat with you a little bit over there and give her. See, when you love somebody, you give them every opportunity for them to grow. You give them every opportunity for them to be the best that they're supposed to be, especially when you see they are the best. God wants us to sow a seed. And what Dr. Donya Sator did today was sow a seed in our hearts and our minds and our souls to get out and vote for her because she is voting for us. She's running for us. She's looking out for us. She's making moves for us. So how could we not vote for her? Guys, I want you to do this for me. If you've never voted before and you wanted something to vote for Dr. Donya Sator.
Thank you.
I love you. I love you. So guys, I tell you, we'll be back live 5 with YANA on another set. I love you so much. Always live your dreams. Always do what Dr. Donya Sator said. Please reach inside yourself and move away those little idiosyncrasies that can hinder you in your future because you just might be a whole lot more further if you move those things out the way first.
There you go.
So guys, I'll see you next time, next Friday with YANA Lou. It's been good.